Hey there everyone, I've got a couple of things from Makeup Revolution today. I really like that brand. They have a lot of really good offerings and they came out with a couple of new products recently. These are from Ulta, got these from Ulta. I have both of them here today and have both of them on. I'm going to do a wear test on these and see how they wear in several hours. I have the Conceal Define Full Coverage Foundation. Comes in a big glass bottle like this. Has one of those giant doe foot applicators that you're so familiar with these days. The color I got is called F2. It's one of the lighter ones that they make. And I will show you all how I applied that and how it wears and my thoughts on that. And I also have the Fast Base Concealer. This is a lightweight buildable coverage to conceal dark circles and imperfections. This is in one of those type of dispensers that has the little tube and then the little sponge on the end, and then you twist up from the bottom. The color I got in this one is C3. So I already have the Makeup Revolution concealer that is so popular. That is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour Concealer. So this is the matching foundation. Here's the concealer. So I'm going to compare this concealer to this Fast Base concealer that I just got today. This is the one that I'm most used to using. To me, the normal one, the Conceal and Define one, is very dry. It is a very drying feeling. It is comparable to Shape Tape, but it's even more drying looking than that. This is a really full coverage concealer as it is. So I fully expected the foundation to be very full coverage, and it is. This is what I would call a semi or demi matte foundation. I usually steer away from matte foundations or even slightly matte foundations, but I put this on and I put a dewy finish setting spray on top of it, and then it looks just right. So I'm going to wear this for several hours and let you guys know how it wore. I have experimented, this is not my first time with this foundation. I have experimented with it earlier this week and it wore like a dream. I mean, it just wore all day. And by the way, on my eyes today, I have the Pure Cosmetics Visionary palette. It's a very, very nice metallic, mostly metallics palette. And I'll show you how I put this on today at the end of this video. Conceal and Define foundation, giant glass bottle, giant doe foot. You can see the coverage on that. This is F2, so it's a quite liquidy, and then it goes on. It doesn't set up too fast, and then when it does set up, it doesn't feel real dry or matte. You can still sort of feel a dewiness to it. Even with my foundation and my powder on today, I can feel a slight dewy feel. It doesn't feel dry. I would consider this a long wear foundation. It really stays in place for a long time, and out of the long wear foundations that I have, I think this is one of the better feeling ones. It's not that super heavy, dry feel. It feels really natural on. Here is the Fast Base Concealer. It says it's lightweight, but it says it's lightweight buildable coverage. It is buildable. I can tell you that. Lightweight, I think it is covering me pretty well. I don't know that it's lightweight. I am getting some dry look under there. I'm getting some lines on this side. So I don't know that it's lightweight. Pretty light. It is creamy. I think it feels creamier than the Conceal and Define. We'll give that a try. This one's pretty pink, isn't it? So I ordered these online. As far as I know, they're not in the store yet. I have no idea, but I don't think they're in the store yet. So I had no way to test out the colors or anything. These are obviously very pink for me. This one is very peach and this one's pink. I think on it's okay. I'm not seeing a huge color difference. Let's look at the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. Let's compare that. And we'll compare that side by side. That one is it's heavier. It's thicker, it's heavier. I'm gonna say it conceals better. But like I said, after you've had it on for a while, it really shrinks down on my thin-skinned under eye area. So on my lips today is Too Faced Sunday Fun Day. It's one of these peach matte look lipsticks. So I'll be back in a few hours to show you how this foundation works. Okay, Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I've primed my face already with the Hourglass Serum Primer. This is the number 28 Primer Serum. I just bought a trial size so I can try it out, but I'm loving it. It is sticky and it makes my foundation just stick like glue. Okay, giant doe foot time. Giant doe foot time. I'm going to blot this on my troublesome areas first, and I'll use that new concealer to conceal some of my spots. Okay, I'm going to do a sponge, a blender sponge, and then I'm going to show you how this goes on with a brush too. So I'm just going to start up here. This is my area that gets really dark. I have a lot of sun damage right there, and you can see how this goes on. It is a really nice foundation. Look at it, the coverage, and it doesn't end up looking heavy. It's very smooth. Let's use a foundation brush. This is from Real Techniques. It's a tapered foundation brush. I'm not real big on foundation brushes. I just like the way the Beauty Blender does or a blending sponge does. But the one advantage here is that you can really get in your crevices and cracks on your face with this. Going on beautifully with a brush. I'm just sort of dabbing it on. Okay, I think I would say I like both sides equally well. Of course, you can still see some of my little dark spots, but I think I'm going to use this concealer to cover those rather than putting on more of the foundation, because we really want to see what it does with those kind of things. And I'm just going to start concealing. Putting a lot on so that we can really get the idea. Ooh, that was a lot right there. Hoping this is going to be not as dry as their regular concealer, because that one is so dry. That is a beautiful smooth concealer, and it covered in one go. Okay, I'm going to carry some of it that's on the sponge down here to cover those really dark little spots I have, my melasma, and we will see how this stuff sets. Okay, let's set under my eyes with my Laura Mercier Secret Blurring Powder for Under Eyes on a brush. Got quite a bit of the product on under there, quite a bit of the concealer on. I could probably go with a little less. That looks really nice. It doesn't look as dry. Where the concealer, the other concealer of theirs really looks dry is when you've had it on a while. It really seems to shrink up under there and get really dry looking. Okay, starting out by priming my lids with the Tarte Shape Tape Eye Primer. It's a little stick type primer. This is a very hydrating primer. I'm going to start by dabbing this CEO color onto my lid. I love how metallic the colors are in this palette. And I'm going to do a halo eye, so I'm going to put that on either side. I'm going to take this beautiful buttery butter color right here and on my finger and dab that in the middle. These colors are so creamy. They feel like they have some kind of moisturizer in them. I'm going to take a little of this Tycoon color. I'm going to go in my inner crease with it, and I'm going to go on the outer corners, outer and inner corners of each eye. And of course, a little of this Dreamer color up under my brow. I'm putting some of the Tycoon color under my eyes. Okay, I'm back. It has now been 5 hours and everything is holding up much better than normal foundation and concealer. My concealer has not moved. It has not moved at all. It's still there. It looks a bit dry, yes, but it doesn't look any drier than it did when I first put it on. This foundation is still, for the most part, in place. I got a little oily on my forehead and I've dabbed it off with this. This is a Beauty Blender sponge that you just use to dab the oil off on your face. I really like it. And it is otherwise in place, full coverage, covering everything. Doing a really, really phenomenal job, staying on me better than anything else ever stays on my skin. So I think it's great. I think it looks very, when you first apply it, when it's a little fresher, it looks very smooth. And it looks like the pigment is just real even on it, and it's just a real smooth looking foundation, and the price is great on it. So I love that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video as more holiday stuff keeps rolling in.